Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio. Hey, Bill, happy Tuesday. Big Ten Media Days are going on today, and they do a pretty rapid fire there. What are you paying attention to today?
My most vivid memory, I know that wasn't the question, is the summer of, I believe it was 2012, Chicago, Big Ten meetings. I'm doing my show there, and you're right. Rapid fire, that day I would take on every coach, every head coach I would interview in about a 5-hour, 4-hour period. Well, Penn State has just been basically given everything but the death penalty. The news had just hit. And their linebacker, captain, and representative there at the meetings, Mike Maudie, is stomping around at the hotel in the lobby, I swear to God, wanting to fight somebody. He's in a suit, too, and he's about to be interviewed and everything, and I mean, this guy is ready to throw down. I remember prior to that, a year prior, interviewing Paterno. Nothing was going on that we knew of, we were aware of, and he was talking about how they never had anything happen and how lucky they'd been. So, anyways, yeah, I haven't been watching today, guys, but I think Penn State's one of the big stories because the feeling is this roster, if they're going to win a national championship, this is the roster. This is the time.
We know they got the running backs back. They got Drew Aller back.
Got Ohio State's defensive coordinator.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you put on the new defensive coordinator and how that could help them and hurt Ohio State?
Well, they got a lot of players back. Abdul Carter, of course, is going to make tens of millions now in the NFL. They're missing him and missing Ty Warren, but that's it. A very good player, best tight end in the country, Ty Warren, from a year ago. The problem, if there's a knock on Jim Knowles, it's that his defense is so complicated, even with really good personnel, Penn State, Ohio State, it's confusing, and it takes time. It'll be interesting to see if he dials that back some. But that is the one knock, and you have to remember, it took Ohio State about a year and a half, almost 2 years, for them to really get in the flow of his defense.
When you're looking at the Big Ten and trying to find a dark horse, that's not Oregon, that's not Ohio State, that's not Penn State, that's not Michigan, could it be Illinois? That schedule they have kind of looks like they have a chance to win 10 games. Is there somebody else in the Big Ten besides those kind of four that are kind of the juggernauts of the Big Ten that you could see making it to the playoff 12?
Before you said Illinois, I was thinking Illinois. They returned probably more starters than almost anybody in the country. Double-digit win team. And this is going to sound weird because it's a monster brand, but I think Southern Cal may be starting to make a move upward. I don't think they're a threat to win the league. But could they get to 8, 9 wins this year and be pointed in the right direction? They're having, guys, a crazy 26 recruiting class, which would remind you of the heyday under John Robinson or Coach McKay or Pete Carroll. They're having that kind of run right now. Those kids can't play right now. They're high school seniors to be. But they've got some momentum right now with what they're doing, getting players. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're a little bit better than people think this year.
When you see Bielema having success there, and it's the second program that he's having success with in the Big Ten, and things went the way they did here, where it looked like there was something starting, but then it just petered out. What do you make of Bielema as a head coach? Because first couple years at Illinois had an 8-win year, but 10 wins last season, and I never picture Illinois as a program that gets to that level very often.
I think my boy the Zucker in 2008 with Juice Williams as the quarterback got him to the Rose Bowl, and 2 years later they're firing him. But yeah, guys, I know this is not an exact answer, but I think it's that Midwest Big Ten model. It's the Wisconsin model. We all know his style. He's a tough guy, physical, line of scrimmage guy, big, heavy running game, passing game to offset everything. He's got a really good quarterback, transferred 2 years ago from Ole Miss. And now the specific reason at Arkansas, I think it's a little bit more difficult of a league. At the time, you're obviously in the Western Division, a lot of brutal ways you can go with that. And it just never clicked. But I think it's that Wisconsin business model that works so well for him is now duplicating in Champaign.
Hey, I do want to ask you about in Cordova, the Ole Miss recruit that was going to be a freshman at Ole Miss was killed in the shooting. What was all that about? How good was Adams going to be? And I hate it, Bill, when you see these kids. I think Maryland just had an offensive lineman pass away too. But what do you make of that situation?
I'm told it was not a bad area. Now, the situation obviously was horrific, and God rest that kid's soul. They lost a bunch of defensive linemen, but they recruited so well there. I don't know if a freshman would get much time this year. He had a good future, no doubt about it, and it's a very sad story. Mississippi, the state, when it was the class of 24, had a epic level of defensive linemen. So these guys would be rising sophomores right now. And all of those guys in state were recruited by almost everybody. And Ole Miss ended up getting them all. And I think that's the next wave of defensive linemen you're going to see there. But, yeah, God rest that kid's soul. That's a horrible story.
Hey, did you see Jimbo Fisher is going to be an analyst on the ACC network? Can he slow?
I did not.
I just saw a report. Matt brought it up earlier today. He's joining the ACC network as a football analyst. It doesn't say it's going to be part of ACC Huddle. So it does. I don't think he's going to be on game broadcast, but it'll be part of their kind of like game day show. But I also think that means I'm not sure if Jimbo Fisher can talk slow enough to actually be an analyst. I'd be interested to hear what he says sometimes. Just talk about a mile, like a million words a minute. I've never heard anybody talk faster other than the Micro Machines man, Bill.
Jimbo is an interesting dude. And my respect for him comes from this moment. First year, he's the Florida State coach. And it's a pretty rough situation. Remember, he was on staff, but they named him well in advance. He's now the head coach. They got to go to Oklahoma. And I'm getting Florida State calls, and I'm telling the fans this game probably not even a game at halftime. Florida State's not ready for this. Got to go out to Norman. And he's scheduled to be on the show Monday after the Saturday game. They get beat into oblivion. Maybe worse than I said it would be. And I was thinking, okay, I know how this game works. Coach is going to be in a really bad mood. He's going to no-show me. Or I'm going to get an SID call, and they're going to say he can't go. He was right there. And took his not that I was rude to him, but took his whooping. And after that, I said, okay. And he won a national championship, a couple years later with Jameis Winston. And he just signed a $100 million contract. So give him credit for all that a few years back. But I really respected him after that. And because a lot of coaches, you guys will know, will duck out on you in that type of situation.
Hey, Bill, the number one running back, Derek Cooper, commits to Texas, and it looks like Texas has 6 of the top 100 recruits, I think high school recruits, in the 2026 class. And I know you don't want more than 5 or 6 freshmen really playing meaningful minutes in the SEC football, but how good is this running back Texas got, Derek Cooper?
Fantastic. It's the easiest by far position for a new guy to play, freshman to play. It's the easiest transition. It's almost just do what you did. It's not a complicated coaching type thing. I saw that Texas, with the run they're on, has arguably the top-ranked recruit in the class of 2026 at like 5 positions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
That's the heater they're on right now.
Oh, boy. That's something to definitely be paying attention to. Hey, Bill, before you go, this just came across. And, I listen to your show quite a bit, and you guys have classic rock comebacks and everything. I don't know if I've heard Black Sabbath before, Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne passed away today, 76 years old. It was right after his last concert, too. Do you have a reaction?
Grew up with it. Obviously, the rock and roll stations here. The one here locally back then was 103.3.
Hold on.
And you would get Black Sabbath in the 70s, and you would get Led Zeppelin, ZZ Top, Leonard Skinner. But I remember an album a friend of mine got, and the front of the album is a casket with a ghost-looking thing in it, and how spooked we were by that. That's my first recollection of Ozzy. But it is ironic after that big concert they had for him, where he obviously couldn't stand up, sitting down. He passes away. That's kind of like the coach when they officially retire.
That's right. That's right. It was, but didn't Bear Bryant, how long was it after his retirement? It wasn't too long after. Same with Paterno.
Like late January, early February.
That's right.
And one last thing. Nick Saban, he's not going to coach again, right?
I don't see the fit. And I know you guys need to run. I'm not going to argue that he's got that in him, right?
100%.
He'll die with that in him. But I don't see the fit. And you guys have to remember, after all the different things you would have to meet to get him, then you would have to get Miss Terry to check off on it. And that is a huge thing. She's probably not going to agree to that.
BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your sports betting action. And with baseball in full swing and football season right around the corner, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting. From MLB, UFC to tennis and NFL futures, BetOnline remains your choice for sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Head to the website today and take advantage of their industry-leading VIP program with level-up bonuses and weekly cash boosts. BetOnline. The game starts here.